allow me to make use of the opportunity to also motivate my vote. And as popular as the motion sounds, I wish that I could see at least an inch of reality in this motion. The motion calls on government of St. Martin, amongst other things, to ensure that all TOT are not placed on invoices, as it is not common practice for businesses to transfer their TOT to the consumer. That is not an issue of not being common practice. It is not lawful, period. So why such a statement would appear in a motion of this nature, I do not understand. But the part which it really concerns is the second resolution of the motion, to provide financial relief to NVGB consumer by considering writing off, between brackets, 50% to a maximum of 5,000 Antillean guilders, taking into account the financial feasibility of such, from all outstanding residential electricity bills, ensuring that the most vulnerable in society benefit the most from this measure and regain electricity, which is a basic human right. Mind you, this resolution or this motion is being asked, or it's been asked of me to support this motion, a member of parliament that for months this government and the government before has been asking about the relief for seniors by the company GEBE, only to be told via the government time after time that that cannot be a structural part of the budget of GB, the senior relief program, for approximately 500,000 guilders a year. And every time again, it is based on political coercion or not that this amount is included in the budget of GEBE. So imagine what this particular statement does. Sarah Wescot-Williams decides she's not going to pay GEBE because I am not content with the manner in which GB is load shedding. So I rack up an outstanding bill of 6,000 guilders. GB does not disconnect Sarah Wescot-Williams because, after all, her name is Sarah Wescot-Williams. So when this goes into effect, what happens then? I claim my outstanding. But my cousin up the hill in Sucker Garden, actually up the hill in Sucker Garden, who looks for 100 guilders here, there, or elsewhere to pay her bill, she has no relief to get. Because after all, her small electricity bill has been paid as best as it can. That cannot be the intention when we say assist the most vulnerable in our community. So how could I support this when we're talking for every consumer? Sarah Wescott, her cousin up the hill, the one down the road, every consumer who for whatever reason did not pay now will get a write-off of 50% with a maximum of 5,000 guilders. And the government and the ministers are not prepared to come out and say, we have issues to fix in GB, and we are going to fix them. And we are going to make sure that those in need of relief actually get the relief. That's not what this motion is doing. Thirdly, if we are not clear about the connection with all kind of relief and the request by government for a loan of 75.6 million guilders, go explain that to those who you are requesting the loan from. That's going to be the next result. So the members of parliament can ask for the support, of course, but unless the government can tell me that they're going to fix that situation, how many applications are there in GB for compensation for damaged equipment? Do we know that? Why are those persons turned back time after time? And will this help them? No, this will help Sarah Wescott, who for her own reasons would have an outstanding amount now to claim 50%, but those who need the relief month after month, the seniors in this country, cannot get it based on this. My approach is going to be different. Ministers of government, this member of parliament is going to give you approximately 2 weeks to return to Parliament and explain how you are going to give relief to the people with respect to the electricity here on St. Martin, because you have requested a loan. Not that I'll support this motion for the reasons that I just mentioned. It does not reach the most vulnerable, because those are the persons who are afraid every time GB tell them disconnection date is tomorrow, next week. And then they're all over trying to muster the amount to pay their electricity bills. So I hope my motivation is clear. And while the intention of the motion is correct, some of the statements in it are just not correct in this motion. And I cannot support a motion in which the considerations are not correct and the resolutions are not realistic, unfortunately. So after having given that motivation, we now go over to the voting on the motion. But I do want to remind the members of government that I am expecting that report from you within the shortest period of time.